Francesco Bagnaia, the Ducati star and pride of the VR46 Academy, is under immense pressure heading into his home Grand Prix at Misano for the 2025 MotoGP season. What should have been a moment of celebration in front of his Italian fans has instead been overshadowed by rumours of internal friction, a bruised ego and a garage split down the middle. The contrast between Bagnaia and his teammate Marc Marquez could not be starker. While Bagnaia has struggled to replicate the dominance that carried him to his past world championships, Marquez, now fully at ease with the Desmosedici GP25, has been relentlessly consistent. The Spaniard looks poised to wrap up the championship early, possibly as soon as Motegi or, at the latest, Mandalika. For Ducati, this is both a blessing and a curse. On the one hand, Marquez is delivering exactly what the Bologna factory desires: continued dominance in the Premier class. On the other, Bagnaia's struggles highlight the fragility of internal harmony when two alpha riders are placed under the same roof. Ramon Forcada, the legendary crew chief once responsible for guiding multiple MotoGP champions, has not shied away from giving his candid verdict on the situation. According to him, Bagnaia's biggest battle may not be against his rivals on track, but against his own pride. Bagnaia has an ego, of course, and it is being tested right now, Forcada explained. The problem is he started with a different setup from Marquez, and he was beaten. Then he tried copying Marquez's settings, but that only made things worse. Now he is stuck between returning to his old formula or adapting, and neither solution seems to suit him. Forcada also believes that Bagnaia's reluctance to step away from Ducati's factory seat is fueling further pressure. He can ask for any changes from anyone in the team, but the one thing he will never ask is to leave Ducati. That is not in his nature. He wants to remain the face of the project, but when results don't come, it creates a storm inside the garage. Racing alongside an 8-time world champion is no easy task. Marquez brings with him not just speed, but also a commanding presence that naturally shifts team dynamics. For Bagnaia, who was previously the undisputed number one within Ducati, this has led to a sense of displacement. The psychological toll is visible. Every session, every lap is a comparison against Marquez, and every defeat chips away at the aura of control Bagnaia once held. At Misano, a track where Italian fans expect him to shine, this tension could either ignite a stunning comeback or spiral further into crisis. Ducati's gamble to unite Bagnaia and Marquez under the same banner was always going to be high risk, high reward. On paper, it is a dream team. Two multiple world champions piloting the most advanced bike on the grid. But in reality, it has created a volatile cocktail of egos, expectations, and internal competition. Should Marquez continue his charge, he may well deliver Ducati another crown. Yet the price could be Bagnaia's decline, not just in results, but in confidence and status. For a rider so deeply connected to the Italian mark and the VR46 legacy, this is more than just a sporting issue. It is a matter of pride, of identity. The next few races will be pivotal. If Bagnaia can rediscover his form at Misano, it may stabilise his season and quiet the whispers of discontent. If not, the garage politics in Ducati could intensify further, with Marquez consolidating his role as the true number one in red. One thing is certain, the San Marino GP 2025 is not just another race. It is a psychological battleground where Bagnaia must prove to himself, his team and the MotoGP world that he still belongs at the very top. Misano has always been special for Bagnaia. It is his home circuit, the track where Italian flags flood the grandstands and where he is expected to deliver. Yet this year the atmosphere feels less celebratory and more suffocating. The very fans who once cheered his dominance now watch anxiously as their hero struggles to keep pace with his new teammate. The stakes are not just about points, they are about pride on home soil. Ducati, meanwhile, finds itself in an awkward position. The factory cannot ignore the brilliance of Marquez, who is giving them everything they asked for when they signed him. At the same time, they cannot simply sideline Bagnaia, who has been the face of their project and a double world champion, in red. Balancing the political landscape within the garage has become as challenging as building a fast motorcycle. For riders at this level, the fight is as much psychological as it is mechanical. Bagnaia has always thrived when in control, when the bike is tailored to his liking and when the spotlight shines on him. Now, with Marquez dictating the narrative, Bagnaia faces a new challenge: adapting under pressure. Every mistake is magnified, every defeat becomes a headline, and the mental toll is beginning to show. MotoGP history is filled with famous intra-team rivalries. Rossi versus Lorenzo at Yamaha, Stoner versus Pedrosa at Honda. Ducati now finds itself at the center of a similar storm. The Bagnaia-Marquez dynamic carries the same combustible energy, with two champions unwilling to yield. If not carefully managed, it could explode into one of the sport's fiercest rivalries, remembered long after this season ends. Behind the scenes, there is also technical confusion. Bagnaia's decision to switch between his own preferred setup and Marquez's proven base settings has left his side of the garage in constant flux. Instead of refining one direction, they appear to be chasing two paths at once, leaving the Italian without a clear foundation. Consistency, which once defined Bagnaia's strength, is now the very thing he lacks. For the Tifosi, this battle is bittersweet. On the one hand, they witnessed Ducati's absolute dominance, a dream that Italian fans waited decades to see. On the other, they watched their national hero being overshadowed in his own team. While many admire Marquez's brilliance, the emotional pull remains with Bagnaia, and his struggles resonate deeply with supporters who expected him to lead Ducati's golden era. The immediate future is crucial. If Bagnaia cannot turn the tide at Misano, questions will inevitably grow about his ability to coexist with Marquez. Will Ducati continue to back him as their joint spearhead, or will the balance of power shift permanently towards the Spaniard? The San Marino GP may not decide the championship, but it could define Bagnaia's place within Ducati's hierarchy for years to come. Bagnaia's story at Misano is not just about racing, but about resilience. The Italian must now dig deeper than ever, not only to silence the critics, but also to prove to himself that he can rise again when everything seems stacked against him. In many ways, this weekend could be the turning point that defines whether he remains a cornerstone of Ducati's future or becomes a cautionary tale of how quickly fortunes can change in MotoGP. Don't forget to subscribe for more MotoGP news, analysis and behind-the-scenes stories from the paddock so you never miss the latest drama on and off the track.